So for those that are new to us, I'm going to share my screen in a minute. I'm going to put links to the step outs in the chat. And then I'll share my screen. We'll talk through it. Then you can work on whatever you want. I'll save. Oh, now I'll do it now. So because we have some people that are working in a sketchbook, some people like we're going to work on regular tiles, some it's just whatever you have. That's all good. You can use color, whatever kind of pens and things that you want, and we're just going to have fun, and that's what makes it extra fun when we see what everybody did, because the only thing that really ties it all together today is just the tangle that we're doing. So that makes it so much fun to see what everybody did. Okay, so let me share. There we go. Okay, so this one had caught my eye some time ago, and then it reappeared on the Tangle Addicts on the banner on top, and I'm like, oh yes, I've been wanting to do this one, or at least see how it was done first, and then see where we put it. And I'll share that link also. It's really sad, or I don't know if it's sad or scary or what, but when the Tangle Painters banner goes across, and I'm like, done that one. I'm having trouble finding ones that we haven't done on the banner. I'm like, oh my goodness, my daily tangle might run out of tangles sooner than I thought.
But you have that other site you look at too.
Yes, that's true. And they don't have the neat banner that goes across.
So you just have to kind of scroll.
I have to, yeah. And then I've been collecting like other CZTs or other people that have done good tangles, that if they have a blog, I've been collecting those so that way I can just go peruse them. And on Pinterest too, there's some. I just have to filter them. But okay, so loop starts off with a diamond in the center or wherever you want it on your page. Then we're going to do it's kind of like a tethered orb, but I was using the takeoff and land concept to make it more of a loop, and also to have it tie in well with the diamond. And what I did on my step out is I numbered the loops, so so that way you can kind of see in order. Although I didn't. Oh well, I don't know if I don't think I explained it well on here, but I figured for today, I will explain it. And the numbers helped on, I think it was to sew or one of those other tangles that was difficult, and numbers seemed to help. So then this is kind of like or a knot, but we're going to come off of one loop and aura. And like, so as you see, I'm coming off of number one loop and then going to number two. So just kind of on the outside, so just making this nice big curved line. And at first, we're not worrying about hollow ball. That first one, you don't worry about. The second one, though, and so the second one, I'm going from number 2 to number 3 loop. And so you see underneath where I've already done, then I'm using the hollow ball technique to go underneath that section. And then you don't worry about it again. But then when I'm going from 3 to 4, then you're worrying about there. And then you just keep going around. The trick, just like with or a knot, is making sure to go underneath the sections. So this is kind of a neat, it's a neat tangle. So you can do it just like this, or oh wait, no, I'll do this instead. Let me show you from Tangle Pattern, so that way you can see that and see the inspiration. And this made me think of when we were in brownies or whatever. Was it what they call God's Eye or something that we do with yarn?
Yeah.
And popsicle
sticks. Yep.
So I kept thinking about that as I was doing it. I'm like, oh, this is neat.
Oh, everybody run get your colored pens, because every row you do in a different color. Oh my gosh. I gotta go get them.
Go get them quick. That could be fun. Well, I first thought, it made me think of spirograph, but it's not really, because it's just this, but it made me think of that. And then I'm like, oh no, it made me think of those that we used to make. So here is, and this is by, I don't know if it's Amelie Liao. And so you can see her step out here, and, and it's very simple. I basically did what she did. I think I might have separated a couple things out, but I wanted to show so that way you can get an idea of if you want to finish it up, how you might want to do that. But so I
Oh,
was, mhm,
I'm looking at that
mhm,
next one.
and this has the stir it up in the background here that I always forget to do, but it's a neat background. But so I'm looking at these and I'm like, well, now wait a minute. Looking at these, and then I'm looking back at the step out, and I'm looking at Linda's little thumbnail here, which is really cute. It also gives ideas, so things that you could do to finish, say, the center or the outsides of it. So this is nice because he's got curved lines coming out from the top, and then looks like onion domes after that, and then and so that's fun. And then this one, she aura the inside of the loops. But I'm looking like going, well, this is a double one. How
Yeah.
how do we do that? So of
Well,
course,
yeah, you'd have to do one. Oh, yep, there she goes. She did it.
I'm like, so all night I was like, all right, in my head, and I'm like, so I'm like, okay, this is a great way to not sleep, but at least I'm tangling in my head, and that makes it relaxing. So yeah, so you would do whichever way you want to start first, a square or a diamond, and then do the opposite. So we're doubling those up. So that way then you have 8 points instead of the 4. And the other thing that you can play with is how much space is right here. I also noticed, I'm going to flip back to hers. I'm like, "Oh, look at those are kind of curved." So I decided that again, my first one I just did it square because I was looking at this, and actually nope, and Linda's hers is kind of yeah, kind of curved also. So in this one, I'm like, "Oh, well, let me do curved lines for the square and the diamond," because then when you do the loop, you really, as long as your pen doesn't make a little bump um where you start it, you really don't see um it just becomes all like one. And then and it's the same process. Although this is interesting. I don't have the picture of it. So what I did in this one, I thought, well, we'll do the diamond first and then do the square. So same steps as the other, just doing one of the, you know, alternating alternating the loops, the oraing of the loops. But then on something else, I think it was on a separate piece that I on my wait, let me pull it up. Let's see, is it this one? So then you can see my how I mess things up and rearrange them. So this last one right here, I decided to do the aura-ing and go from well, you're skipping one, right? So I'm going from 1 to 3, then I went from 2 to whatever that would be 4. So I went every loop and did an aura in succession that way versus skipping one. And I honestly don't see much of a difference on the insides. It's just I thought, well, which way should we go? But like I said, I needed to try it because oh yeah, because when I was doing it, I'm like, oh, whoops, but it doesn't really matter. It still seems to come out the same way because as I was looking back at hers, on this one, and it could be too how you decide to do the o-ring. Like this one, I see 1, 2, like 3 lines in a row um before it breaks off. So you could have that's something that if you can think that out while you're doing it, go right ahead. But you see how you just see like, or I should say, like 2 bands going, and then it's regular. And who knows? It could have been one of those. Oh, whoops. Okay, well, I'm just gonna keep going, and then and and we don't know. We just look at it and like, oh, how'd they do that? So there's some ideas. I don't think there was anything further. No, just the regular stuff. So that is the fun that we shall have. And let's see. Oh, Monica says I was talking about running out of tangles, and she thinks that yeah, tangle painters might have over 1,500. Well, if they do, because what are we on, day 472 or 3 or something like that. So I don't think we will ever run out of tangles because,
Yeah, I think what you meant, ones that interest you.
well, yeah, because I usually start them with because as I'm looking, I'm like, yeah, this piques my interest or that. And there's some on there that um that I don't think fit the criteria, so therefore I go, no, I'm not going to do that one. All
She's
right,
so
yeah, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be picky. Yeah, because like I said, there's a couple on there, and I'm like, so I'm debating. You're gonna work on white, maybe I'm gonna work on black. I'm gonna do the negative
okay.
because I was wanting to play with it on the black, and so now 10. All right, if my light and everything will behave. Okay, and I think I'm just gonna use a number 8 and yeah, Zelda. Yeah, so I think Zelda's talking about my step out. That's why when I make a mistake on my step outs because you're drawing everything from scratch every time, and I will use the white pen and mark some things out and then go back and erase it on the. That's the only time because it's like no, this is too much. I have to start all over, or it's not the right format for. Oh, I think I will. Um, uh, you know, going in a direction. It's like no, because it's instructions instead of a tangle. All right, so now the debate: do it singularly or do it doubly? That is the question. I think maybe I will start with doing a single one, and it's in Mom's air drawing, so we're all
I
gonna air draw.
am.
The thing you have to keep in mind is to make sure there's room for the loops because I on the step outs that's what I kept making it too big, the box part and
Yeah, I'm probably going to have that problem too.
yeah. Well, then we just have fun with it, and then two having the loops be a little bit larger is also nice because then there's I don't know, it just makes for more fun. Oh, so Mom's gonna do the single. Oh, you're gonna do the double, so I'm gonna do the single then for sure. And yeah, and if you can kind of scoop the lines a little bit because that only helps. But you don't have to at the same time. That's why I'm thinking the box could be more on the small side, but you're going to be working it in. So I'm going to say medium. That does not help, doesn't Zelda? Not helping at all. And it doesn't even have to be in the center. You know what? Here. Well, let me just. We'll think here. So, it's almost like the tile that we're using is traditional Zentangle, 3.5 inches, and I'm just looking like, oh, that's about a bijou size in the middle. So if that helps. Oh, and I like that about having different sized loops. You could certainly do
Yes,
that. Yeah.
because
Okay.
anything goes.
That's right. That's right. All right. So, and then for the loops, as I mentioned, we'll do the takeoff and land. So I'm going to start here and drawing it bigger than I think because I kept drawing them too small. Nice big loop. It's just nice, yeah, coming off of one side or from one side and going down and landing on the other. Actually, I was thinking this is probably the best way to describe takeoff and land because you really, you feel like you're doing it versus like when we usually do it like on cadent, and sometimes it's hard to think about. Okay, well this was fun. No, just kidding. So then, and I found that I have to. Oh, and because I did this so big, well, I guess it'll work. Um, so you want to make sure to have it where it's comfortable too. And I kept flipping between doing it this way so that way I could see, but it seemed like the best way was the old plant your hand and have it curve. Although, like I said, having it be so big, well, I don't know if I can get it all in one stroke, but we'll see. So same idea with the takeoff and land. So I'm going to start up here towards the top of the loop so I can then come off of the loop. Actually, here's a good place to stop is on a line. So that way it's less visible. So, and then coming off like that, off of that loop. And then you just want to continue it. This first one, we're not worrying about auraing or anything. We're auraing this line. We're not worrying about hollowing. Sorry. So that's our first thing. Actually, one of hers, I almost had to look and see, did she not? I think it's this first one with the circle. And I was like, did she not pick up? But no, she did pick up the pen and hollow out some of it, but it was just, it's so interesting. I don't know. I just kept looking at it and couldn't figure out exactly how she did it. And then it doesn't matter which direction that you go. I'm just going to go this direction because I'm going to be auraing whatever's on the right side. And so after that first one, then you have to worry, or not worry. You just have to be watchful of the places that we're hollowing. So it's going to be there. And I would also recommend. Thanks, Jen. It's groupy. Are you doing a different color each time, Mom?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. I just noticed it was thicker, well, and that's neat too.
So far, I am.
Oh, I have some pens here. I might have to do that after this first one.
Well, this is a PN, and I used an 01 to do my initial. I might come back and do that first one thicker.
Okay. But it might look neat having different thicknesses too.
Well,
I think it would. And you're going nicely up to the tops. Look at how nice that is.
Yes.
Oh. Aim for what Mom is doing. I was first thinking you could make them seeds on the top, which does make that a nice point versus it being a loop. But it's also nice to have both options.
I forgot what I was doing. Oh no, I'm okay.
You're good. Yeah, and okay, so then I had a thought with that. It'll come back to me. Maybe this first one I'm just going to do all in white. Yeah, so you just have to watch where the hollow part is.
That is where it gets tricky.
Yeah, because
I forgot which side of the loop I was going to, and I was going to try and make it go to the other side. That doesn't work.
Right. That's what I was thinking. Is you might want to do the pre-draw, the air draw, just like especially when you're doing a double one, because it's like I think I was finding myself going from one loop to the next loop instead of going all the way across. So if you're doing the double, you're always skipping one. And then, like I said, it just keep turning it around, and that's what I'm going to do here. So then we don't really have to think too much, except for just be wary about where we have to hollow. And then also just working to make it seem like a continuous line. Yeah, the tricky tough Tuesday. That's good, Zelda. Yeah. And then let's see, which way am I turning? Oh, and then I can see 2, 2. I'm turning it counterclockwise is what I'm doing. I will say just like any of them, especially the trickier ones. Sometimes it might take. Do it another time.
I don't know if this makes any difference. If anybody else is doing the double one, I'm going around and doing on mine like the 4 bigger ones first, and then doing the 4 smaller ones second, which I think will make a difference in how they overlap.
Well, see, that's what I thought, but that's why what I was showing, and maybe I might do it bigger, because I did it first that way because like that makes a heck of a lot of sense to alternate first you're doing the square and then you're doing the diamond, whichever way. And a nice idea to do them different sized loops on the end, so that way it helps keep track of them. Because that way then you can alternate.
Well, and actually doing it in different colors, you can sort of see where you've been.
Right, right. Yeah, and I was always looking at this or counting. It's like 1, 2, 3. Okay, I've got 3 lines. All right, good. That means everything is even, unless you've done something too close and then it's off. And it could be too. So I'm also trying to go always in the keeping the same order, because then as things kind of stack up, it will look well, no, I don't know if it'll matter. It will in some way, shape, or form, I'm sure. And then also too, it's like my top of mine gets a little messy, and then just not worrying about it, because you can always go back afterwards and neaten it up if need be. And I'm gonna dare say you could go around just as many times as your pen will let you, or however much space. And remembering, let's see, in the one sample she didn't really do anything in the middle. The second one, the one she did what looked like not droop but close, with an asterisk in the middle and then just curved lines. It just looks like a flower on the inside, so you can always decorate, but you can stop at any point that you want to, or just go until you don't have enough room, which I think I might. So I've gone 3 additional times here, so I think I could fit one more. And because like in Aeronaut, that's what you do, is you go until you either don't have any room, or you just like, no, I think I'm going to stop there, because that's where it's telling me to stop. Which is good, because this is so I could do 2. Ooh. Or just have some fun. And I keep moving my thing off of the face here.
Yeah, using the color helps. I don't have to count to see where I just see, oh, I don't have that color on the other side, and then I know I have to go one more.
Well, and it looks really neat.
Well, wait till I color it all in.
I can't figure out how to get the second layer.
To get what, Leslie?
Hi. I can't figure out how to just even get the second layer. You know how you're putting it's easy enough to do the first line,
Right?
But I still can't figure out how to get that second one that does this. Yeah, the pattern.
So
I'm looking at the step out.
Yeah.
But still, they go from the first line to the very end. They don't have any steps in the middle.
You'll have to look back at it, Heather.
Let me, I'm flipping back. Share my screen. There I am. Oh, I have to. Okay, I have to click share to make it share.
Okay, so it's going to be behind. It's going to be behind the previous one.
Right. So so looking at box 3 in mine, you're kind of tracing over, or or starting at the top and just, having it come out a little bit, just depends on how your loop is. So we're having it come out and under, right? The first thing that we did. And then to that underside, we'll call it, of what I have labeled loop 2. So then in box 4, that one is dark. Yeah, and this one, what I did, so you're continuing those this same process, but you're moving from loop number 2 to loop number 3 then. And then you hollow bow under what you already did. And I can also, I like the idea of doing some color, so I might try what Mom did here. So let me because I wanted to do another one anyway. Let me redo, and then let me stop the screen share. But yeah, because it just continues around. That's why I did it all. I showed the one, and then the second, third, and fourth ones, I just did them all in the one box. I was thinking about separating those, and I might redo it and do that. We'll see. There. Okay. So let me. Okay. I'm just gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna do a box one.
Okay, thank you.
But sure. But I'm gonna use my. Here I can use this instead of the pen because it's handy. Okay. So let's get the first one out. And like I mentioned, you don't have to make these curve lines. You don't have to worry about that so much. It just adds a little extra. All right, and then let's get the loops.
Heather, this is Annie Sargent. Good morning.
Hi.
I did it in alternating 2 colors so I could see where I was going, and that really helped a lot.
Yeah. I'm going to do that too right now because that's what Mom did here.
Yeah,
such a good idea.
Helps a lot.
All right.
Yeah, even if you just use 2 colors, it helps.
But then the problem is deciding which colors. Just kidding. Yeah, and because it doesn't matter. So let me, and with my silly camera, who knows if you'll see it or not, but I'm going with a green. And let me go thicker. And okay, so Leslie, hopefully that you will see this. So I'm doing this. I'm gonna stick with doing it on this side here. So I'm gonna start at the top of this loop, and I'm pulling off a little bit, right? And I think you said you got this part. So got that. Oh, that looks nice, Mom.
Except I don't like that thin.
Oh, the thin one that you started with?
Yeah. And that's okay. I can fix that.
Yeah. So the next one, and this is where then you have to start paying attention to where we use the hollow bow technique. So it's the same stroke, but right here I'm going to go underneath. So boom. Then of course there you don't have to worry about, and then we'll come all the way up to the top. Well, actually, the first round you're only hollow bow
from the very beginning.
What's that?
I was crossing over on the very first line, so no wonder I couldn't get anywhere on the second because I already screwed up on the first.
Oh, well, but it's one of those. That's okay, even if I had to go back and look at one of her samples because I wondered if she just didn't hollow bow either some of them or all of them. So it's one of those. That's okay. It'll just make it a different pattern.
We're doing it step by step because I was just looking at the diagrams and looking at them. I couldn't figure out what I was missing, but by doing it step by step, that really helps. Thank you.
Yeah. Pleasure. And and then because even if I had missed this, it just ends up making a box there. That's what's so fun about all of it is that it still will look neat either way. No mistakes, Jen says. Exactly right. Okay. Oh, now I have to pick another color. Oh, let's see.
I think I messed up going over these lines, but that's okay.
Well, see, then if you did, then you could just fill in certain ones or
And
something.
actually, that's what I thought. That's what I will do with this first one because it kind of sets it all off then.
Yeah.
Or I know what else I can do. I can fix it.
What's kind of neat about making it so big is that, you know, when I was doing it small, I was having also a bit of a curve, more of a curve in the inside, and that was just making it more complicated, it seemed like. Oh, that looks neat.
Now I just have to figure out. I have to figure out something.
Just don't know what yet.
Well, the first one we
There's
did
something
not
to be
have,
figured out.
we didn't have to worry about the very first stroke. Well, yours looks the same as mine. What's going on here?
What?
I don't know. I can't even think to ask the question.
Hey, Heather,
Yeah.
can you actually post what you're doing out, like in your step out or on the website, so that doing it in different colors seems to like help me better?
Okay.
I finally gave up.
Oh,
No, try again.
keep trying.
I'll
But
try
yeah,
to do it again.
yeah, and so I think maybe I'll redo the step out and do it in different colors. I think that is a really good idea. Although
I kind of see what you're doing now, but to put the double, like to put the other level in, like that really messes me up.
Oh, okay, yeah. And see, and yeah. So this is just and I would try just the single first.
Yeah.
You know, just because, and that's why I like going. Oh, good. Mom's doing that one. I'll do this one, and I like that. Yeah, I think I will do it in do the step outs in different colors because then that might help. And then also I'll separate out at least going around maybe the first 2 times. And maybe I'll just leave it at that. Going around the first 2 times and have each one be in a different box. That also might help, I'm thinking. And I I had when I was doing the step out because I didn't have apparently I didn't have proper lighting. I grabbed a purple pen because then I can see it on my screen. I'm like, oh, I did do half of that in purple. Oh, okay, that's neat. Oh, let's see. Oh, then Jen says mine came up different air quotes from the step out. Yes. So yeah, make it weirdly your own. Yes. Love that.
Okay,
Well,
I think I finally got it. I do believe.
Yeah. What did you end up having to do or fix? Or
Well,
adjust?
when I going over my lines, all of a sudden I was crisscrossing too many lines, so I had to find my first path that's clear, and then you hollabow every other one. I mean, all of the rest of them. Right? Right. Well, it's the way I'm doing it.
I'm trying to make sense of it in my head. I'm like, what did you say?
It doesn't look this, you know.
But
Sherry, that makes sense. You're saying you holler about every one where it looked like Heather was going across it sometimes and not holly by.
On just that first band around.
on the whoops, that's weird. On the first band around, you're crossing just that first line because it's not it's not hollowed.
But just the first all the way.
Yeah, so the okay, the first one, right. The second one, yeah, so like the green is crossing. So there's no hollowbowing here because there's nothing to hollowbow. But when I get like,
But you went over that first black line that goes
where is
that
it?
way. I'm
Yeah,
pointing at
the
the
first
screen.
black. Yeah, yeah, we can see. Yeah, because it's not a band yet, is what Zelda said. So here's the second green, or the first green one. The black was the first line. So here's that first green one. There's nothing to hollowbow because it's not a band. It's not a band yet. We haven't got the band together yet. So that's the first one.
Okay.
But
I,
after that first, I was just thinking of the way I was going to say it. I'm like, that will make absolutely no sense.
but I get it now. Your
Yeah.
first green, your first black square, whatever, with the loops is just your first, like your string.
Right.
And
Right.
then after that, then you,
And after the first,
after the first
four-ing,
one,
yeah,
yes, then
then
you start hollowbowing. Right.
right.
And mine is, yeah, it's, no, it's not that way, but that's okay.
I think we're all coming back tonight to figure this out.
That's right. And that's why we call it Tough Tangle Tuesday.
Yeah. I was like, wait a minute, this was supposed to be really easy. What happened?
No, it wasn't.
My husband said, honey, it's not Thursday. Why are you up on Tuesday? I said, because this is Tough Tangle Tuesday.
That's right. It's like, don't you know? Oh, that's funny. Now let's try red. I don't like to use red because red is like step out color.
Oh, well, that doesn't work. I'm just talking to myself over here, but
Okay.
I'm like, Heather, I'm
That's
just
what we
talking
do.
to myself. What do I want? I don't even know what I want. I want something.
And what a great idea, Mom. It's like to doing every separate, all the colors separately, because it's like, I mean, besides it looks neat, that's, yeah, I'm going to,
Okay.
after this, I will probably go and redo it. And, oh, and then there's the last one. Whoops. And then, whoops. It helps if you get the middle. I'm so worried about the loops. I totally jumped over the middle section. Oh, that looks so neat with all the colors. Let's see. Oh, well, Jess, we'll let you. It's doing it in pencil. Sometimes it's just just dig in, do it. But everybody do their comfort level. It's all right. Oh yes, Jen says that, I'm going back through the chats. That her favorite saying of ours is this: the occasional opportunity presented suddenly. Yes, sometimes very suddenly, and you go, oh,
Well, and then there's the other one. It's just a piece of paper.
piece of paper. I have to make a list of all of our now. So let's see. So you're coloring in. So to have fun with, shading or coloring. Ooh, let's see. Because a lot of times you could just leave it be as it is. Yeah, the no erasers just is what she struggles with most. Yes. Well, just occurred to me, Jess. So don't do it in pencil first because then you're not tempted by needing to have an eraser. It's just like, nope, there's just, I just can't go back. Oh, let's see. I think I'm gonna play first with.
Oh, I just figured out where I'm going to run into trouble.
Oh.
Filling this in like this.
Oh.
Well, when where they crisscross in the middle, colors are going to run into each other. You're not going to see that nice, but I know what I'm going to do.
Let's see. And I'm just looking back to see. Yeah, and she did it. This is almost a, a no shading required type, but you could, I mean, if you wanted to accentuate it, I like doing the colors, but you could, well, are you just going to do the box? The one.
No.
Oh, we can
Right.
make this a game show and we'll guess what Mama's going to do next.
Well, I'm just going to redo each one that I do with black down here.
Oh, okay.
The others will all be separated, I think. All up here it won't.
Okay.
Out here they'll all be separate because they don't overlap.
Right.
But down here they will. We'll see how it works. Might not work at all, and that's okay.
Zelda, yeah. Zelda says,
It's
yeah,
just
I
a
think
piece
each
of
of us
paper.
can make our own rules. Well, absolutely, Zelda. That is right. Yeah. No, we the eraser, just like the ruler and everything is really for more of the method for for when we're using it for meditation, just to make it easy. That's how they started. But yeah, that makes sense. So that way, then you have it's outlined. Then this is just
Yeah.
screaming for me to do it, so I'm going to do it because it's just saying, just highlight me here. So I'm gonna.
Well, the other alternative, which might have been easier, because this is like a darker pink than what I did the lines in, is to come with like a colored pencil instead to color in
Oh,
a lighter shade.
yeah.
That would have worked.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is sort of working, but I might have to even get more definite. Because the brush pens are like a little bit different color than the writing pens, I think. No, maybe that's the problem. They're the same color. It is my problem.
They are.
Well, it just looks different, but no, I think that's the problem. Is they are the same color, so the
Oh,
line
yeah.
just disappears.
And Anne says she's using pastels to shade along the intersections. That's a good idea. I was kind of thinking that too.
I think.
But then that's why I said, oh, I'm going to work on the black first because, well, I could use the pastels on the black, but this way I can kind of play with what my brain is saying it wants to do, and we'll see. Well, the other the conundrum in my head with all of the colors is like, well, who gets which way do I, because you could go either way. I could shade green on either side. It's like, well, because I haven't, they're not outlined the same. And so this really makes the box stand out, and that's neat. But
Oh, that does. I like that. Oh, shade the very middle. Because that makes the whole thing look like it's sitting on top.
Oh, because I was thinking I could do the intersections.
You could.
To just almost go up in a line. Now I'm wondering. See, like I see here where I have two that they're the same. If I was really good about not distracting myself, if I kept going, and turning it every time, making sure, because it's like then I'm thinking these would all be like, this is really good right here with the steps and right here, but not here and not here. So somewhere I did something, and that's why we can shade. Because then it covers it up. Yeah, and Zelda's right. Zelda says definitely need to air draw getting closer to the center. Yeah. it's just good to kind of plan out, okay, here's where I'm going. And especially if you're doing the double, that's where I got more confused. But I honestly did not notice much of a difference when I just went from, you still have to skip a loop when you're doing the double, when in the aura ing part, but it didn't seem like it made much of a difference in the end product. Maybe just because there's so many lines and it's hard to see. I am using the soapstone. I really like, I think it's the particles in it or something that maybe finer. It's a stone versus the chalk.
Yeah, I think it's just a different consistent, something.
Yeah.
Different consistency, so that actually the chalk one is probably finer, softer particles, and the soapstone is probably harder, and that's why it
Yeah.
doesn't stick as well.
Oh, and maybe that's it. Maybe, and then,
And
but
that's what you want. You don't really want it to stick too good.
yeah, and that, and using less of the chalk, because I think I was going heavy on the chalk pencil, I was using it like graphite, more literally, just putting a little bit too much down. So that looks neat. A little bit messy in real life. Out this little bit, as I like that solid black. But this is, it's also nice because it does seem to just, you can just keep spreading it around until nothingness. So that is neat. And I'm gonna dare say, wow, I could use color. Ooh. Oh, and it just occurring to me now as I'm doing this, might not be a bad idea because I ended with red. It's like, maybe should I have ended with the same color I started with, so that way I would have, the nice black around the edges. Don't know. The only way to find out is just to do it again.
Yeah.
And all right. Oh, we still have 5 minutes here. Oh, yes. Oh, I should have done it a little distance away. Oh, well. Next time. Ooh, but I could do that on the black one. Maybe I shall. I just ended up doing, okay, I know I want to do this, so I'm going to do it. And while I'm thinking about other things, because I'm debating, do I want to color some of these sections in, or or use the past, the chalk pencils and shade, or color them in with that. So many options. Oh, that's looking really nice.
I'm deciding not to color in the whole of these other two bands
Uh-huh.
because I'm lazy.
I think it looks neat that way, though.
Well, yeah, I would, because I'd be running into the same problem as I did with the pink on the other two colors. So I think on the blue I might do little orbs. I'm just like I'm auraing with the green in whatever space I have left, so you can still see the structure.
Well, it's funny because I was thinking orbs would be neat in some of these.
This is another. I mean, you could make this much simpler by making it bigger, wider, making the bands wider,
Yeah.
and then coming back and doing, something different inside them.
And only 2 loops. That would really make it nice and simple.
Yes. Tonight.
Tonight.
Okay, now I just have to figure out. Okay.
Well, see, but your bands seem, for the most part, wide.
Yeah, they are. But I mean, you could even make it.
You can make that
more
even
small.
wider. Yeah, and I like. Anne says she likes the idea of adding orbs. Yeah, and making and Deb is agreeing, making it larger.
Okay, now I just have to find the last the last loop. Oh, I found it.
And depending on depending on how many bands you have, 1, 2, I've got 4. Well, and you don't have to do it till it's full. You could do, how many did I want? Or 1, 2, 3. I did 4 bands besides the original one, and we want to see what everybody did. So
At that time already? Oh my
I
goodness!
know this is a good one that we can totally get lost in.
Totally lost.
Totally lost. Oh, so here, that's nice.
I gotta
Nice,
finish
and
doing orbs.
that's making me think. Oh, Sandy, that's gorgeous. I like the ones in the background too, and just doing a few. Oh, Jen, that's amazing. I need to go back and note who said that they goofed theirs up, so we can see how amazing it turned out.
Sandy's, who kept it nice and simple with just a few,
Yeah,
looks beautiful.
yeah.
Of course, Shirley did double, and look at how good hers turned out.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the
these are
shading on that one. I love Shirley's shading.
I swear, I respect her names.
Yeah. Beautiful.
I swear,
and Linda's looks beautiful.
I'm amazed at how many people grasped it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, these are nice. All right. So, okay. So here, let me grab a snapshot real quick, because I think this is everybody. And if not, okay, hold them steady and center 1 second. Got it. Let me paste it. I did it. Yeah, I did it right on the first try. Woo! Okay, so now I'll share my screen and everybody can see. And if I missed, we didn't have as many this time. Everybody, well, if it's nice where you're at, everybody might be outside. These are gorgeous. And Zelda, yes, I did get yours too there. Okay, let me share that everybody can see everybody's. Let me move it down just a little. Wow. There we go. Just super neat. Oh, and all right. And then Deb's, look at the center of Deb's. It looks like it went into a little bit of a paradox.
Where? I'm looking. Where?
Top row.
Yes.
How neat is that?
We'll have to see if she did that on purpose or was it an oops.
Well, I mean, but when you do, no, because I think that just looks like decorating the center just from the number of bands, because there's 3 bands, And then you could decorate the center however, but what a neat way to tie it in and have it be just a little bit something different.
Yeah.
Oh, these are all amazing. Wow. Oh, let me scroll up a little bit to see. And I was like, and so here's, and even Fiona's coloring him in with the pastels. Then you wouldn't necessarily run into the challenge. And what I like, Annie, I like your coloring too. That's amazing. And using the the chalk pencils,
Mm-hmm.
then you can get that gradient, but then you wouldn't run into the problem because it would be a little bit different color.
Right.
Oh, these are so cool. And I like who's this PV at the bottom corner. I like adding the little extra things on the end. That's just so neat. And little we'll say they look like big hearts, but they could be 2 fluxes.
Yep.
So
Cute,
cool.
cute.
Yeah. Oh, so neat. And and I'll say I'm not trying to think. We'll say Leslie, you'll have to email me yours. Because I want, especially those if it went wonky. Because I'm looking at Jen's, it's like, well, let's just see. But however it went wonky, Jen, that's amazing.
Can you scroll it up a little bit, Heather?
Or
The
no.
whole panel. The whole
I
panel.
made two,
Yeah.
and they're both pathetic.
So I don't know if Karen's
I'm
still
definitely
on.
gonna work on
Hers
it.
isn't
This
in there.
is
She
like a
must have
brain
got.
teaser. You know, this is really good for the brain. You know, it's like a brain teaser. It's good for the
It
brain.
is.
I'm definitely going to work on it and try to master it.
Oh yeah, and I didn't see Karen.
She's not on now. She must have got totally discouraged.
Oh no! Oh.
But she'll try it again on her
Yeah.
own. Probably.
Yeah. But how neat did these turned out amazing.
They are neat, but it's a tough one.
It is.
Yes.
Well, I was debating between 2, and I'll save the next one for next time. Is
Yes.
a take on Cubine, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I love this, and so that'll probably be the next one, unless I find something else. But but these did turn out really, really good.
Well, I'm trying to pick up my stuff to put it away, but I'm not going to put away the pens I used because I might never find them again. And I didn't use this one, and I want to finish this probably.
Yeah. Oh yes, because you have to finish putting in your orbs.
Yes.
All right. Well, we'll stop the recording.